Welcome to another episode of The Importance of Being Ernest. I'm Paul.
I'm Mark.
And tonight we're going to be discussing 1976's Shoot.
Oh, what do you feel like doing tonight?
I don't know, Ange. What do you feel like doing?
These are 6 ordinary businessmen. They have plans for the weekend.
Hold it!
Six ordinary businessmen doing what they do best. Shoot. Rated R.
Shoot, it's a 1976 American and Canadian film, directed by Harvey Hart and written by Richard Berg, based on the novel of the same name by Douglas Fairbairn.
1973, I think the novel came out.
Okay,
Yeah.
73, yep. The film tells of Rex, a gun enthusiast and military veteran who goes out hunting with 4 of his buddies, and they get involved in a altercation that leads to a lot of consequences.
That's a good way to put it.
In our cast, we have Ben Parker, Cliff Robertson as Rex,
Yep.
the lead character. Ernest Borgnine as a very, I would say, solid co-lead.
Oh, yeah.
And he's very integral to the story.
Yes.
As Lou, appears to be Rex's closest friend. Henry Silva as Zeke, one of the other hunters.
Of alligator fame.
Yes, of alligator fame, and also of evil henchman of Ardala in Buck Rogers fame. James Blendick as Pete, who I believe is the guy that gets the wound in the head. I believe is Pete.
Yeah, gets the graze.
Yep. Larry Reynolds as Bob, kind of the old man that they bring back with them. And then Leslie Carlson as Jim. And so then there's also all of many of their wives guest starring, but we'll talk about that as we go along.
I love this movie.
Okay.
I love this movie. And I'll explain, hopefully remember to explain why I don't get caught up in my zeal.
Yes.
This movie has been an obsession of mine since the 90s when I found it at like Hollywood or Family Video or something. And I remember watching it the first time I watched it. I'm like, stuff. What did I even watch?
Which is what I just did tonight as my first time watching it.
Oh, okay. Well, I watched it a couple more times because that was back in the day. We were house sitting in Chesterton, actually. And I had plenty of time on my hands, so I watched it 2 or 3 times that day. But this movie is the classic example of the cautionary tale of leave shit alone. Robards?
No, Cliff Robertson.
Cliff Robertson. I get Jason Robards.
I would as well. Yes.
Uncle Ben,
yes.
should have just let shit go after the inciting incident in the woods while they were all out hunting. Which, by the way,
we should probably summarize the actual plot.
If you were going to go hunting with a group of hunters, these would be the guys to go with: Borgnine, Silva, Robertson. Basically, they go on a hunting trip. They all hate their wives. Borgnine's divorced.
But clearly hated his wife.
Yeah, but clearly hated his wife. Maybe he met. Well, he might have met Tova.
I don't think so. I think this is This is in the lean, the Turduncanless years.
The lean years, which he was not.
No.
But they go on this hunting trip. They're all going crazy because they can't find anything to shoot or kill. And while they're out in the woods, they come across another party of hunters who are, I assume, just as bad off and just as eager.
Mm-hmm.
And they have a bit of a standoff at this river, and then
one of the other hunters shoots at one of them
Yeah, and then
wings him, and
it just turns into
then Henry Silva
yeah,
shoots him, as he says probably later, shoots him right between the eyes
yeah,
and kills the other hunter. And then it becomes a game of, do we go to the cops?
yeah,
Will they go to the cops? If we go to the cops, will anyone believe our story? What if, and then when they don't go to the cops, um, why didn't they go to the cops? And then Cliff Robertson, Rex gets it in his head that they're coming after them, or they're
yeah,
going to ambush them.
yeah.
And
He
so
manages to track down the one guy's widow, oversexed, drunk widow.
another one, obviously clearly hated by her husband.
Yes, which reminded me of while we're on the subject of Cliff Robertson.
Mm-hmm.
This reminds me of in The Boys from Brazil, where uh, Gregory Peck goes to this house where this widow has these, or this like dowager has these children,
Mm-hmm.
and the oversexed dowager is Aunt May from the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies. So it's hilarious watching her be all like, like, hey, what would Uncle Ben say?
Yes. Oh, oh.
So Robertson's he's convinced that that they're out to get the other gang is out to get them.
Yes.
And so he's still active duty. They're all still kind of active duty in military, and they have a bunch like a National Guard group that they
train on the weekends.
Yeah. So they decide they're going to go on maneuvers and go out to the woods, and because Robertson is convinced they're out there waiting for him.
Yeah.
So he brings along everything he possibly can.
Over 100,000.
Yeah.
100,000 rounds.
So many rounds of ammo. And the National Guard troops just think they're on maneuvers. And after slogging through the hills, through the snow, going to their cabin, the lodge, to make sure
they
nobody was there
on the lodge.
Yeah, and finally, after a long time, the oh so patient leader of the National Guard group,
the young kids,
basically has had enough, and he throws a fit, and it's at that point wackiness ensues.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to give away the ending of this too much.
I think the ending is its own special conversation. All right, so this is my first time seeing this movie. It's odd though. I got it. It showed up on my YouTube feed, and of course, we're always looking for Ernest Borgnine movies. This is one I don't own.
Yeah, I've been looking for it.
Yeah,
and my problem with it was if I would have bought it and it not really worked for us, I would have been out real money because I can't find it for cheap. I don't even know if it's on DVD yet.
I don't know yet. I'd have to look. And so, but luckily it was on YouTube, so we can watch it for free, and a pretty good quality.
I'll link it down below.
Yeah, pretty good quality.
Keep in mind, it's a VHS tape, probably a Betamax rip of a V. Like it probably went from film to Betamax to VHS, so it's pretty grainy, but it's got that nice grainy feel that I like anyway. So if you like nostalgia,
yes. I think I don't even know where to begin with this movie.
I think you need to begin.
I feel like I watched. Well, yes, yeah. So I feel like I was watching what's it called, Jacob's Ladder, with from the 90s. It felt like a fever dream.
Yeah,
just the whole movie in the way that it unfolds is so uncomfortable.
Yeah,
these men. So whoever the guy that wrote this. I mean, he goes at great lengths to make all of the women in the movie as unappealing as possible.
Yeah,
and problematic. They're all either they're drunks, they're cheaters. They all they keep talking about looking for a real man. There's a lot of talk back and forth about who the real man in the group is.
Yeah,
and some if you're sensitive, some language that is from the 70s, clearly.
Yeah, it's the style of the time.
And so
the men ain't exactly catches either, though.
No, that's what I'm saying. No,
nobody in this movie except for Ernest Borgnine, who kind of plays the Jiminy Cricket character. Is the only redeemable character in the whole movie.
Well, that's what I wrote down. So, for example, even the old guy, he they're out hunting, and after they get hit and and Silva kills the guy, he just keeps saying, "I wish I had my Tommy gun.
Yeah.
I wish I had my Tommy gun. I wish I." And then they're all talking about all these weapons they have.
Mm-hmm.
They do a very long. The movie opens with Cliff Robertson making sweet love to his guns because
And the music doesn't help.
No, it doesn't. It is porn, 70s porn.
He's
music.
going up and down, and he's got like the finger thing. I don't know if I can show this on YouTube.
And while his drunk wife is frustrated, I think she at one point says something about your little friend decided to work, and that's why he came back early. So clearly he's got some issues.
Yeah.
In that department, and so he lovingly. I mean, his whole living room is one wall of it's dedicated to his gun collection.
Yeah.
But I think all the other guys do too. One of them has a Tommy gun. Even Lou, the Borgnine character, has an extensive hardware collection that he loads his whole truck up with later. And so
it's almost like they're compensating for something.
Yes.
Which I think not to. I haven't read the book yet. I would love to read the book, but I've never found it in my price range. But I'm willing to bet that one of the things the movie does different than the book is the same thing that the Death Wish movie does versus the book. Now, in the Death Wish book, it's all about the paranoia that sets in from what Paul Kersey, Charles Bronson, does. None of the movies ever touch on that. Even the remake with John McClane.
Okay.
Well, what's his name?
Oh, yeah, Bruce Willis.
Bruce Willis. They don't touch on that, and I'm willing to bet that the book touches more on their inadequacies, which is probably also part of the reason why the book is called Shoot.
Mm-hmm.
And if you see the book cover, it's like it's a guy's hand, but his finger is a barrel. So there's a lot of inadequacies going on in this.
Well, and I thought it was ironic that when Bill's wife, Bill's the old guy, Bill's wife is coming on to Rex, little does she know Rex is also not a real man in that department.
Yeah.
And so so to me it's all about, as we used to say about an old no longer friend of ours, the impotent rage.
Yes. That's what the IMDb listing should say.
Oh. I guess for our discussion, I have two ways to interpret the movie.
Okay.
So I'd like to start with if you accept the movie at face value, then I have a different interpretation. So,
all right,
so for the face value one, it clearly, it's not clear. I mean, in my head, so this is 76.
Yeah.
In my head, are these guys World War II vets, or are they Korean, or are they Vietnam, or does it matter?
I think the short answer is yes.
Yes,
I think they're everything, because that old dude, Bob or Bill,
he has to be World War II.
Bill's probably WW2.
Yeah.
Cliff Robertson and Borgnine are probably Korea, to be honest, but they also probably served in Nam because that's how it worked.
So to me, this is the flip side of Born on the 4th of July. These are a bunch of war veterans who came home like their best days were behind them. So, and they still are playing at being in the military. I mean, Rex is the highest ranking. They talk about that.
Yeah, they call him Major.
They call him Major. So he's clearly the leader of them. And even if they all didn't serve together, he's the leader of this little hunting group.
Yeah.
But to me, it's as if they came home, their best years were behind them, and they're all in. Like, even though Rex gets praised at one point for, developing this whole business of selling furniture and how great he's going, it doesn't seem to be, he's not proud of it. Like, he doesn't care, like, whatever.
Yeah.
And they're all miserable with their wives. They're miserable in their lives. They all kind of make fun of each other for the crappy jobs they have. Borgnine's the only one who, he's a printer, so he makes like newspapers and magazines. So he seems to be the only one that, like, maybe doesn't accept their past for the way it is.
Yeah, well, he's the only one with a lick of sense.
Yeah. But they clearly all know that about him, because they talk about, at one point Rex says, Pete's bleeding head and Lou's bleeding heart. He's not going to let either one of those stop them.
Yes.
And so I feel like this is this is Rex's opportunity to recapture the glory. And there's I mean, Lou says it to him at one point. Lou says, "You want this to happen," and he smiles. That creepy, cold smile on Cliff Robertson's face, and the camera moves in. So as Borgnine's accusing it focuses on Borgnine and it swings around and it moves right into that smile.
Yeah,
that was creepy as hell. That was.
I love Cliff Robertson in this movie so much that because of the absolute bastard that he plays.
Yeah.
That when the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies came out, it was a little bit hard for me at first to take him as jovial, kindly, wise Uncle Ben.
Yeah. Yeah, it does give you a new perspective of Uncle Ben.
But he was such a good actor though, because he played a variety of different types of roles.
Right.
And this was one of them.
And it feels like even with the women in the movie, the world has passed them by.
Yeah.
So in 76, these are all older people.
Yeah, they're all middle-aged.
They're all middle-aged, so and unhappy. And they don't understand the world they live in now, and there's that whole boy the lady the widower of the widow I'm sorry widow of the who was also a military guy.
Yeah.
So we find out that the guy that they killed also was a military guy, and his all hunting friends are military guys.
Yeah.
So that's why I agree with you. They're in the same problem setup. They're talking about the hippies and junkies taking over, and the government wants to take away our guns, and these guys clearly voted for Nixon.
And they would have, if they lived long enough, they would have voted for somebody else.
Correct. And so it just, Rex flips so quickly into. I mean, he it's like he's convincing himself and them that this is going to happen. He has to, and he even, it's so sad. I know it's sad. So he shows up to their second meeting in the disguise that he wore to go hunt down the widow.
Yes.
And so he's like in disguise. I'm like, you're nuts. You are, something is broken inside of you.
He looks a bit like Inspector Clouseau.
Yes. Did you shoot my dog?
Did you shoot my dog?
And I, all of you know how much we love Ernest Borgnine, the great thespian that he is. Yes, rest in power, Ernest. His portrayal of Lou was so good. He when he just it's like he's in a nightmare he can't wake up from. That's like he just suddenly he's laughing and everything's good in the beginning of the movie.
Yeah, because he's telling a dirty joke.
Yeah, telling a dirty joke. Yeah. So he's like he seems to be the least impacted by his time in the military. Seems to just be getting along. And it's just like he can't wake up from this nightmare, and all these guys are just chomping at the bit to kill something, someone, anything. And he even says to them, "This is a game. You guys are talking about like this is it does. They were talking almost in video game terms.
Well, and when you consider that they were calling him a bleeding heart, and the fact that he ran a printing company, which we all know that the written word is the enemy of guys like this.
Correct.
So even his job is representative of his role in just like Rex.
Yeah,
that name.
Yes, Rex. Yes,
there's no that was not a coincidence.
No. There's a lot of. Then we get the Henry Silva character who kills the guy. His name's Zeke, which he's a total racist in the movie.
Oh my god!
And Zeke is the perfect name for like that kind of character.
Yeah.
So the names are very, I think, important. And Lou's kind of like Lou's your bar guy at the buddy at the bar. There's only one part where I thought Rex was interesting. But man, is it telling about military life. There's a certain point where Rex wants to add a bunch of other men to go get revenge and go hunt down these other hunters. And he's coming up with a list of people who he can trust. It's all about trust.
Yeah.
And then someone mentions his head of security at the furniture store, and Zeke says, "Well, isn't he black? Like,
Yeah.
we can't take a black guy with us." And at first, I thought, I'm like, Rex is not enlightened. Rex basically just says, when it comes to he's a man, he's a body, he's someone who can shoot. That trumps race, everything else. So
Yeah.
he's so military that way.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. We need bodies, and he's I can trust him, and he's someone. So, because at first I'm like, oh, Rex has a little bit of bright light. No, he doesn't. No, it's just
No.
another body they can use.
One of the things that I do like about this movie a lot is also and movies of this era
Mm-hmm.
is how so much of the dialogue where they're all talking over each other and
Yeah.
stuff like that. That was a thing. I mean, Spielberg masterclass on how to do it. Other people try to do it. This one does a pretty good job, but it also does this thing where I feel like um most of the talking over each other um it's improv.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like when the veterinarian is fixing dude's head,
Right.
the dialogue that's going around the table, is this one good enough? I don't know about that one. Go over and get this. It just sounds too made up to be part of a script.
Yeah.
You know, Borgnine was a great actor, but this was almost like real. You know, like and the director, who didn't have a lot of directing credits to his name. I looked him
No,
up.
right.
I think he directed an episode of Star Trek.
Yeah.
Just seemed to know this was good enough.
Yeah.
And yeah, I love the real feel of the dialogue.
Well, and I felt like, any group of guys, that's I wrote in the very beginning, there's just a bunch of guys busting each other's balls, all one-upping each other, all trying to talk over each other. So to me, it was like we were really listening in on a real conversation.
Yeah.
It didn't feel
Yeah.
it didn't feel scripted. It didn't feel fake. It just
Right.
felt like we were kind of listening to kind of guys that were half drunk.
Yeah.
Because I got everyone's drinking and smoking in this
Yeah.
movie.
Like the director, when they're driving to the lodge, the director just told Borgnine, now just tell the Russian joke.
Yeah, yeah.
And you guys just react to it.
Right.
7 time.
Okay, so let's talk about the ending. There's only one way this movie could have ended. Because if it would have ended differently, it would have just kept going.
So in the end of the movie, Rex is right.
Yeah, he's right.
He's right. They are there. They're in white camouflage. They're in better camouflage than Rex's group.
Yep.
They had built camouflage. They were hiding underground.
Like Wolverines.
Yeah, they all popped up. Yeah, and they just mowed down. Once the kid starts protesting,
Yeah.
and throws down his flak helmet and says, "I've had enough." They all get up and just tear the entire company to ribbons,
Yeah.
except for Rex, who basically is blinded. Looks like
he's blinded, and all of his friends are dead, and he still didn't learn his lesson.
No.
It is the pointless pursuit of revenge.
Yes, and he can't. And I don't know if he also appears to be maybe paralyzed because he's just laying there on a bed with gauze on his bandages.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if he got paralyzed as well, because he says most days I can only see through the slits of my bandages, and I could see the doctors at times. So I think he's also paralyzed.
The only thing off-putting about that for me is the idea of the narration at the end. Because while it works, it's the only time it happens.
So I have a theory about that.
Yeah, well,
I agree. If you accept the movie as is, as presented, he learns nothing. He's blind at the end, as blind as he's been the whole movie.
Yeah,
he is literally blind and as impotent as he's been in the whole movie.
Yeah,
he to me he's rendered impotent at the end, because that's why I said to me it seems like the way the narration helps you understand.
Yeah,
he can't move. He can't. He's trapped inside his own head now.
Yeah,
as he sort of has been the whole movie.
Right.
But that led me to, was any of this real? Is he in a VA hospital right after the war, lost his buddies some other way, and he's
Oh,
constantly reliving.
so like hence the Jacob's Ladder thing.
Yeah,
you know,
that's
wasn't in his head.
wasn't in his head, and what the reason it's all so strange is he's working through the trauma of all of his friends being killed in the war, but this story was he keeps trying to have them win in the end, and in the end they keep losing. So I'm wondering if this is like, is he just, was he shot on the battlefield and he's just laying there and his brain can't handle the fact that all of his friends have died. He led them, he was their leader, and he failed. And so now he's been laying there for God only knows how long, can't move, can't see. And in his brain, he comes up with this whole life where they lived on, but the memory of what happened to his troop keeps interfering with. So he's trying to, like, I don't know. Part of me was like, is any of this real? Was this movie real? And the narration is unreal.
And
And
he
so-
is in, Robards is in
Robertson.
Robertson.
Yeah.
Cliff Robertson, Rex,
Yeah.
is in every scene.
Yes.
So
There's not a scene he's not part of.
right, like that like when you watch a movie or a TV show where there's a dream and the characters in the dream
Mhm.
and they go somewhere else and they have these characters over here doing this in his dream, I hate that. It drives me crazy.
Right.
So the fact that he was in every scene, that's a pretty good theory.
What a top.
And
We're
so,
probably the first channel on YouTube
yeah,
to cover this movie.
in
And
a
I think,
positive way.
well, even at all,
Yeah,
even.
at all, yeah.
But I think you've hit on something
Yeah.
here. Since we're being cerebral about this,
I couldn't help it. I just when we hit,
I'm-
you know what did it was what you said with the narration. Like, what is this? That's what kind of blew me away at the end. Is the I'm like, what? This is like, feels like a whole different movie at the very end.
right. Okay, so you have Cliff Robertson.
Yeah.
You have Borgnine,
Mhm.
and who is Robertson's probably other best friend in this?
Well, it appears to be Henry Zeke.
Okay, so you got Cliff Robertson, Borgnine, Henry Silva.
Yeah.
Now, what's the id, ego, and super ego?
Right. So
We're gonna go cerebral on
yeah,
this.
so I would say Zeke is the id because he's the one that immediately stands up, shoots the guy, and put right between the eyes.
Right.
He doesn't even hesitate. It was an accident. It could, well, we don't know. There's that standoff where we don't know if it was an accident. Why did they shoot at the guy in the ear or the head?
Mm.
So to me, he's the id. Cliff Robertson's the ego because the ego is always the main character.
Yes.
And then Borgnine would have to be the super ego. So on a scale of Borg 0 to Borg 9, well, let me ask you this. We'll do it a little bit differently. Before we had our conversation,
Mhm.
how would you have rated Shoot?
It's funny because I was actually gonna explain that,
Okay,
but
okay.
initially it was gonna be a Borg 5
Yeah.
because at face value it's just a movie that happened.
Yes.
That Borgnine happens to be one of the three main characters, and if not the second main character.
Yeah.
But now that I'm thinking this shit, it's a Borg 7.
Yeah, that's okay. So I am with you. If it was simply a simple story to criticize gun culture, if that's all it was intended to be, that's a Borg 5.
Mhm.
But I think what they created lends itself to way more interpretation.
Yeah.
So to me, it's a Borg 7. To me, I don't think it. Whether they intended it or not, it's there.
It's an unintentional Borg 7.
Yeah, it's an unintentional Borg 7. But he is great in the movie.
Yeah.
He as the voice of reason.
Yep.
And even though in the end, once the ego makes its choice, notice the super ego comes along with.
Mhm.
And he keeps telling him, sorry, I know I'm getting back off to the, so he keeps telling him, are you going to change your mind again? Are you going to change your mind again? Are you going to change your mind again? Because the super ego doesn't want to do it. But in the end, because they all are part of one personality, Borgnine has to come and suffers because of it.
I'll be through, just like the country.
Okay, so on that note,
Yeah. What a pleasant, I do thank you. Thank you for thank you for when I sent you the trailer going, this looks crazy.
I lost my shit. I was like ready to go then.
Yeah.
All right, again, I'll link it down below. Let us know what you think. While you're down there, do all the YouTube things, like, subscribe, hit that bell notification so you don't miss a single video. Tell a friend.
Right.
And I'm Paul.
I'm Mark.
And always remember,
The importance of being earnest.